Hello my friends. My name is Bot Mathematician and this is Holomancer.
Also, Chief Investigative Reporter Dora joined us this evening.
Gadgets and Gazette always gets the scoop. Guys, readers of Gadgets and Gazette are constantly asking questions. Which packages should I buy? What options are best to use for purchasing dust? Are Whizbang packs worth investing in? I demand answers.
Using mathematics we have prepared answers to all these questions and even provide you with more useful information. For example, you will find out why Whizbang's packs are not the best option for purchasing. Based on our data, Dora will be able to update the proper packs buying sequence table and you will find out which pack you should buy next.
Let's move on to our report. Resource management is one of the main aspects of Hearthstone. Without smart investment, it is extremely difficult for players to accumulate a large collection of cards. If you think that everything is very simple and players should only buy new packs or all mini-sets, then you are making a huge mistake.
I can't wait for the results. But first, please remind us again how you will determine the best option to buy.
Everything is very simple. We've created a benefit factor that allows us to numerically determine the conditional value from purchasing a specific pack.
Here's how it works. Each set contains a specific number of useful cards for the current meta. Knowing the drop rates, we can determine how many useful and completely useless cards you can find in your pack. The benefit factor determines the hypothetical total amount of conditional dust that you can find in your next pack. It consists of dust you would receive for disenchanting useless cards, plus the dust you would have to spend on crafting useful cards found in your pack. Here's an example. In cases where your pack contains only duplicates or useless cards, the minimum value of a pack will be 40 dust. But on average each pack brings more than 100 dust. The appearance of signature cards has slightly increased the value of packs. Now imagine that all the cards in your pack turned out to be unique and useful. In this case, you will not need to spend dust on crafting them, which means your benefit from the opened pack can increase up to 4 times. Please note that the maximum benefit from opening packs is not fixed. It decreases cyclically with the receipt of a collection of cards of a certain rarity, as well as after receiving the first guaranteed legendary card, which on average is in the 5th pack.
For me, all this science about packs is too complicated. Let me put it simply. Instead of buying dust for crafting, the guys determine for you the most profitable options that will bring you dust and at the same time useful cards to increase your collection.
We could not have said it better, Dora. Let's start our analysis with free cards. The core set is the largest set of cards in the history of the game. This year it has become even larger and now consists of 290 cards. Every year there is some kind of rotation within the set. Some cards are leaving core to make room for well-known cards from the past.
We closely monitor each annual update, which allows us to compare and draw conclusions about the quality of the upgrades. So this time we got the worst update ever. Of the almost 90 returned cards, only 37 turned out to be suitable for competitive play, at least at low ranks. And this is in a situation where the set has become larger and completely new cards promoting Warcraft Rumble have been added to it. Of the 18 legendary cards, only 3 exceeded the popularity threshold of 1%. The overall popularity of cards from the new update is 7%, although the popularity of previous core set upgrades was more than 10% after the rotation. Even though they were not as large, players found use for more tools.
The low utility of the new upgrade leads to a reduction in the impact of the free set as a whole. This means that this can lead to a hidden increase in the cost of a useful collection of cards. This is just a logical guess. We haven't tested the cost change yet. If you find this interesting, let us know about it in the comments. Perhaps we will make a separate video on this topic.
To test the entire core set, we need to imagine that it is sold in the form of regular packs. The overall popularity of free cards dropped to 23%, although during this period it usually reaches almost 30%.
Of the 290 cards, only 87 are conditionally useful. That's only 30% of the set. You also see information about the number of useful cards depending on rarity. So, for example, out of 41 legendary cards, only 8 are conditionally useful and only 5 of them have a popularity of more than 1%. Also on the infographic you can see the most popular cards of high rarity. And here are the benefit factor indicators. If these were packs, then your benefit from purchasing the first pack for 100 gold would be 319 dust. The duplicate protection system helps us determine at what point the next reduction will occur. So, for example, from the 6th to the 80th pack, while you collect common cards, your benefit will be only 202 dust, which is more than 2 times less than the theoretical maximum value. Guys, understanding all the nuances, let's talk about real packs. Traditionally, the worst offer is standard packs. Starting from the 6th pack, your benefit will be slightly higher than from the hypothetical opportunity to purchase core set packs. But this infographic shows some interesting facts. Firstly, of all trading cards, more than half are conditionally useful, while out of 120 legendary cards, only 33 have a popularity above 1%. Please note that in order to collect all the epic collectible cards you need to purchase almost 1,000 packs. This amount will be significantly insufficient to complete the full collection including legendary cards.
Let me comment on the following results. Festival of Legends packs are once again at the bottom of the list. The overall popularity of the expansion, including the mini set, in current competitive play is 12%. This result was partially influenced by the extremely high popularity of Fanautum Lord of the Opera, which means that the statistics of the mini set slightly improve the statistics of the set as a whole. The 15 legendary cards are still useful. This is the main advantage of the packs. Unfortunately, among cards of lower rarity, most are completely useless. Starting from the 6th to 38th pack, your benefit will be 234 dust. After receiving all epic cards, your benefit will be reduced to 142 dust per pack. In other words, you will receive mainly dust for crafting. Not an impressive result.
Unexpectedly, next on our list is the Titans mini set. This is another reminder that buying mini add-ons may not be as profitable as players claim. In general, the Titans expansion is one of the most influential in the meta game, but the mini set was near the bottom. For every 100 gold coins invested, you will receive only 290 conventional dust. The main disadvantage of this add-on is the very small number of useful cards. Only 39% of cards find a niche in popular decks, but the key metric for mini sets is the usefulness of legendary cards. Unfortunately, only Rarran continues to be used. You will get significantly more benefits if you open the first 30 packs of the new expansion or Badlands packs instead of this mini set.
The impact of the Titan expansion was significantly reduced after the rotation, although we expected the opposite effect. A little less than half of the cards are still useful. Among the 31 legendary cards, 18 have a popularity above 0, of which 15 have a popularity of more than 1%. It's not bad. Unlike the Festival of Legends, the presence of cards from the mini set significantly reduces the benefits of purchasing Titan packs. The most popular tools are mainly Death Knight cards. The first 5 packs will potentially bring you useful cards and dust for crafting, which in total are equivalent to 466 conditional dust.
Next in line are the Whizbang packs. This result is another confirmation that new packs are not always the best option to buy. Just a few weeks after the release, almost half of the set became useless. Among the 20 useful legendary cards, only 10 have a popularity above 1%. In terms of overall impact on the metagame, the Whizbang set is more reminiscent of Festival of Legends and Forged in the Barrens, whose impact was significantly lower in the first phase than Sunken City or the imbalanced Ashes of Outland. This result is not a failure, it is rather expected for the first set of the year. Nerfs and buffs have not yet fully revealed their potential and we are still hoping for an increase in stats. On the screen you see mentions of the most popular cards after the nerf, but this does not mean that this is a recommendation for crafting. Popularity alone is not enough to determine the utility of a card. In our previous video, we looked in detail at which cards should be crafted first. Do not miss it.
Before we continue, we want to express our boundless gratitude to our sponsors.
Dear friends, your help is invaluable. We do everything possible to make our videos unique and useful.
We will be grateful for any support. Your hits on the bell icons and like button, comments, subscription to the channel and of course sponsorship motivate us and provide the opportunity to create more new content.
Thank you for your activity, and now let's continue. Next on the list is the Festival of Legends mini set with a total popularity of 2%. Despite the fact that almost a game year has passed since its release, half of the cards remain conditionally useful, but the main advantage of this mini set is 2 good legendary cards. Lord of the Opera has become a legendary star in the Wheel Warlock deck. Every 100 gold coins will bring you 353 conditional dust. Overall, this is a very good option to buy to increase your collection of useful tools.
An interesting anomaly occurred with the Badlands set. If you compare the overall usefulness of the cards, the popularity and utility of the legendary cards. You will find that these packs are significantly better than the Whizbang expansion, but there is one caveat. The overall result of these packs is anomalously influenced by the presence of cards from the mini set in them. If you are not going to buy a mini set, then these packs are the best option. If you already have a mini set, then Whizbang's packs are similar in value to Badlands packs. Even in the image of the best high rarity cards, you can see 2 cards from the mini set. Very good expansion and very good packs. Finally, the best option to buy is the Badlands mini set. Every 100 gold will bring you a record 380 dust. The overall popularity of the set is 7%. This is an incredible result for 38 cards. Never before have we seen such an influential mini expansion. Almost 70% of the cards are useful, including 3 legendary cards. Yes, only 2 of them have impressive popularity, but Marut is not completely useless. Overall, this expansion is yet another reason that makes us change our minds about the concept of mini sets.
The add-on had a big impact on the metagame, adding additional mining treasures to the general pool and mining tools for Paladin and Shaman.
We see the point in increasing the number of cards in Standard, only if they have high utility and a positive impact on increasing variability.
The Badlands mini set managed to set the bar very high. I hope the subsequent sets will not disappoint us either.
Wait, I see another parchment with the results. Have you decided to test the cards that were given to us during Hearthstone's 10th anniversary celebration?
Yes, Dora. We love checking the value of gifts in the game, so we received 11 rare cards and 1 legendary. To determine the benefit factor, we need to set the conditional cost of this set.
Let's imagine that this is some kind of analog of a micro mini set that can be purchased for 700 gold coins. In this case, every 100 coins will bring each player 437 dust. In other words, if this offer were a real option in the shop, it would definitely be the best one. At the beginning of the video, we criticized the developers for the worst add-on to the core set. To be objective, we must thank them for a useful gift.
It's time to move on to the most interesting part. Based on all this data, I created a table of the proper packs buying sequence. The first thing you should do is decide on the purchase of mini sets. In general, buying mini sets will reduce the total number of packs needed to get a full collection of commons and rares tools. In addition, you will get 4 legendary cards. Even if the mini add-on contains completely useless cards, thanks to duplicate protection you will remove these cards from subsequent packs and thus make them much more valuable. But this directly depends on the number of packs you are going to open. Thus, your decision should depend on your financial capabilities and your future progression strategy. Since resources in the game are very limited, I suggest considering a scenario where you buy the 2 best mini sets and ignore the Titans mini expansion. In general, you only need this set if you want to get Yogg in your collection. If you are a new or returning player, you should first check to see if you receive the first guaranteed legendary card from each expansion. It is best to do this in the sequence you see on the screen. Buy the Badlands packs first, then move on to the Whizbang packs, but keep in mind that you most likely already received the guaranteed card from this expansion. Then you should gradually start collecting common cards. Buy packs until you have all the cards of that rarity. If you found a legendary card in pack 5 and bought the mini set of this expansion, you will need about 25 more packs, but check your collection carefully and determine how many common cards you are missing. Most likely, you have opened a considerable number of standard and catch-up packs, which means you need significantly fewer packs to complete your collection of common cards. Pay attention to the number of Titan packs. If you don't buy the mini set, you will have to open about 34 packs to build up the common collection. After receiving all common cards, you can start collecting rare tools. Please note that if you purchase the Badlands mini set, the Badlands expansion packs will lose some benefit and will be almost equal in value to the new Whizbang expansion. Once you start collecting epic cards, Whizbang packs will become a bit more profitable. And as always, I remind you that you do not have to repeat the entire sequence. Even if you complete this list only partially, you will receive a great collection advantage and maximum benefits.
This is all the data for today, but before we finish, I want to discuss with you a crazy idea. I created a completely new account in the game to test our recommendations for free-to-play players in practice, and I found that I prefer to spend more time in it than in my main account, which has all the necessary cards for competitive play. In the new account, I feel the progression much more strongly, although my capabilities are significantly limited.
I'm convinced that my robotic friend's computing module is gradually failing, as the experience gained gave him a completely crazy and stupid idea about introducing a new competitive mode in which players gradually gain access to random cards from their own collection. I think this is nonsense, but I'll still ask, dear viewers, what do you think about the concept of this mode? Are you ready to give up your cards and gradually regain access to them throughout the gaming season as part of a new separate mode? From a gameplay point of view, it should be reminiscent of Arena, where you are forced to play with garbage cards, but gradually your decks will improve.
Friends, do you think this idea is healthy, or should we send our mechanical friend for maintenance? Share your thoughts in the comments and join the polls in the community tab. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you for spending this time with us. We really hope that we will have the opportunity to get in touch in the next video.
Take care of yourself.
And never give up.
Job's done.